Hey there, Libra. This is Joy with Joy of the World, here to take an intuitive peek into the energies going on around you. Friends and subscribers, welcome back. And if you are new to this channel, click that delicious, beautiful subscribe button down below. It is free as always. I'd also like to welcome our new subscribers to the channel. Thank you for joining the family here. We are looking forward to your best, bold, bright, beautiful dreams coming true into this world, causing it to glow up and you to shine. And we celebrate that about you, friend. Bring forward those impossible dreams. Bring them right on in and watch them come to fruition, fulfilling and satisfying your soul and who you are and feeding into your future. Now, let me tell you, baby, there's good news, Libra. It is all coming together. Now, we'll get into that dive in just a moment. You have an interesting spread in the way you laid things out, kind of cash. You're like honing even with the directionality of the cards. But first of all, we have a question. You have bound yourself to this commitment, not in a bad way. It's through determination. This is self-determination to inherit what it is that you seek. You've put your mind to it and you're wanting to kind of turn back the hands of time. And that's very much in the realm of Chiron. And Chiron, as we know, is in the house of self right now for about 7 more years. And you're wanting to know, will it really come to full fruition? Will I come into the 10 of spheres, the 10 of pentacles, into complete and utter total happiness, to completion, to come together, to feel at one with myself, at one with my world, at peace with myself, at peace with my world? And I'm like, baby, do you want to know? Do you want to know, Libra? I do. I'm pretty excited. Let me tell you, it's going to be even better. You know how I know? We have the ace here. The ace is the trump card. It is the pinnacle card. It is the zenith. It's the bomb.com. Let's just put it like that. It goes beyond. It is like the genie, like the seed. It is the inheritance. So beyond this, which parts of this can be swept away through time or occurrence. Like, I live somewhere where there was a hurricane a few months ago. It can just change and rotate through time. But this, the ace, will always be with you. Okay, and as you see, it's not up your sleeve. It levitates. It's a light and easy heart. Here it is in your hand. And this is the garden, this new world that exists beyond where you have been for such a long time. And I love it because it is right now, friend. It is right now because we've just passed the full moon, the eclipse and the full moon, the lunar eclipse at Gemini. And as we know right now, Gemini and Sagittarius are the north node and the south node of our planetary alignment. Gemini north, Sagittarius south. And so we're going through working that channel pretty strongly right now. Like it's the last Passover is what they're talking about before the turn of the tide. Well, what turn of the tide would that be? Let's see what we have going on here. First, they're wanting to start with the Hallmark card. It's talking about being abundant. This has come through for the last 2 or 3 signs. It's like a flow in the channel of what is going on right now energetically. This divine resonance, partnership, things aligning, and just knowing that you know. Isn't that the greatest peace and comfort? Knowing that you know. But that's what you've been doing for years, is what you're telling me, through the sheer determination, commitment, in a very difficult, precarious situation. Some of it self-inflicted, some of it the world, kind of matching toe for toe. And you're like, yeah, I didn't know how the heck to get out of there. All stitched in, all sewed in and committed. Like once you get on that ride, you get on the, roller coaster, and it's strapped in and that ride is going, you got to see it through. So that's a bit of what you did here. And you didn't know that it was going to be a full-on channel of channels. But in your mind's eye, you knew there was a whole nother world. This is almost like at the retina, at the back of the eye, at the reflectory factory. What you talking about there? This is like Pinball Wizard, whoever likes that song. It's some Pinball Wizard going on up in here. So let's see what we've got. First of all, over your determination, we have reconciliation and regeneration. This is coming in. It's happened, right? Because as it supersedes and goes into the ace is so powerful. Remember genie power? Genie power has to do with genius. It has to do with life and intelligence going on inside of you. No longer in the realm of ignorance. Ignorance is not knowing, and there are 2 facets of it. The simply that you just don't know, and you cannot know until you know, right? So I gained some experience and some involvement through time, okay? But then there's the ignorance unto death. You know, but you don't go. You flat out like, I'm going to sit here, hold my breath. I'm going to sit here and turn blue. And life is like, well, let's see how that suits you. Okay. We're infinite and eternal. We'll just wait until you are ready. And this is you. You've made your choice. You've chosen yourself. You've chosen to be the star. You've chosen to bring it all together and to allow yourself to synergize into your eye of God, into your chart, but also not only heavenly minded, but here on this planet. And I absolutely love that. So that's the reconciliation, the restoration coming in here. This is like you being in the ooh, I love it. This is like standstill and swift absolute assurance coming together. This is incoming, like you have it charging at you. Other people are seeking Cupid's arrow. You're seeking empowerment. And that's about what this restoration, reconciliation is being restored to your right mind. Like setting the account straight, setting the book straight, clearing the checks and balances. Anything about forgiveness, anything about acceptance, anything just about the state of being. You're wanting to pass and move on and supersede. You're wanting to go into the amness is what you're talking about here. But you see, we have the lightning bolt there and we have it reiterated here. How fantastic. So this is the incoming of that energy joining to yourself, because you have been at a standstill. You've been in a place, in the same place for a long time. Spiritually, mentally, physically, like repeating patterns, that type of thing, and kind of doing it a couple of times. Ran that mountain a time or two, but that's okay. That's, you know what? Ignorance. Some of us want to know that we know that we know, and I was one of those. That's why they said, Joy, you're starting the channel, because you know it's true. And I'm like, yes, I do. And I didn't ever want to lead or guide anybody until I knew with absolute certainty that it was true. And now you do know. You know it coming and going. You know it forward and backwards. You know it hindsight and foresight. And you're like, I do. I'm sure. I'm certain. I'm certain. So this is an incoming energy. The return and the reconnection of yourself to your true self. The self, your destiny. You're reconnecting with your destiny through the power of your divinity, through the power of choice, through the power of self. All right. This is like when you have the genie and you have this is like you're able to wish for more wishes, right? You're able to turn your world upside down, which is obvious here that you are in the middle of something, because in the vice versa, remember coming. You're so tricky. I don't know what goes on when y'all have me lay this out. I'm like, I don't know what we got to say. Coming and going. Coming and going, full on connection, vice versa. You know it coming and going. Let me take a look at the wheel. I already know what's going on here. Let's see the other side. Same thing. Okay. Mirror, mirror on the wall. It's not who's the fairest of them all. It's you seeing yourself truly, seeing yourself divinely, and knowing how to do the interplay. Remember the retina of what is showing up on the back of the retina here, right? You have to know that the image is inverted, right? And that it's going to revert, okay? Reconcile, regenerate, okay? I know it's reconcile, y'all, but whatever. That's what they say. And so we're just going to go with it. Know it coming and going, and you know how to navigate. Just like you do a cartwheel, you know you're going to go upside down and come back right side up, right? You know, when you sit down, you're going to bend this way and going to do the opposite to come back up. It's being in full spectrum is what you're talking about here. So what you're letting me know, this is coming in along with the harvest rune. This is going hand in hand, cooperation, getting on the same page with yourself. This is almost like the breakdown of this energy, right? Getting on the same page with yourself and gaining the full understanding of why our body has that dual operation. It's not to be in, quote, opposition, even though the muscle that assists is an opposer. It's an opposer to allow you that resistance to pull up against so that you can leverage the benefits of the mind and the body connection, okay? That's what you're talking about here. So once we begin to understand that, we let down that resistance. We let down the damnation and determination that you have to bind yourself all up like, hell, I need to know that I know that I know. And they're like, something greater is coming. And it's perfect that it's aligning with the era of plasma that's coming in. You can call it the era of air, whatever you want, but it's genuinely plasma, because plasma reproduces. It reproduces cosmically. It reproduces instantaneously. It reproduces as its own kind. Life begets life. That's what plasma is. So here we have harvest, beneficial outcome, 1 year, cultivate, fated, what does that say? Patience and harvest of the self. Now, interesting, when I went to look, and you see the coming and the going, right? The making sure that just as you sit down, you do have to rise up. So you're partially into this process already. You see, it's broken down to 2 parts here, and that's what you were showing me in your wheel. in your wheel and getting to know yourself is you've already made some changes, some assertions, some things like that. And you're watching as it's playing out, and you're now gaining hindsight because you've been following and trusting your spirit for a minute, your guides for a minute, and making that forward progress. And you're going to begin to get the return. The delightful return is what you're talking about here. Because as you can see, this is very much, this tarot wheel is very much talking about your 4 angles. It's talking about your ascendant, your descendant, your MC, and your IC, okay? They'll kind of make a cross. Some people, it's not a perfect plus sign. Some it's a little kiltered, a little tilted. Mine is. That means I love to be in motion, right? And so that's why I like big wheels keep on turning. Yeah. Wheel in the sky, keep on turning. That's what's going on here. So you're partway through the process of discovering and knowing yourself. So it's fantastic that we're right in the juxtaposition of our planetary alignment doing the same thing, of Earth doing the same thing with the North Node and South Node, okay? So what is it? You're gaining the medicine of the knowledge of the future ray, of the earthen ray within the depths of the earth. So you're tapping into your, we could call it your potential, but they don't want to say that. Your earthen treasure, okay? Because you were telling me the other day in my meditation that when you created your destiny, right? When you were on the other side, you divined your chart, you picked your parents, you picked the way you were going to look, you picked where you were going to live and be born, you picked so many things, you laid it all out. And the lessons, aka the tools and equipping that you wanted to have, but you also stored gifts and talents and things in the earth as well. Also resources, opportunities, things like that. So just like lightning, it pulls from the earth up into the atmosphere, and now it's returning from the atmosphere down to the earth to create a full cycle. You're on the second half of that cycle. You're telling me when I look at this card, one more quarter turn and then another quarter turn, okay? So in just a couple of weeks, we're heading into the season of winter. So by the time summer comes, so a quarter turn, right, is the season of winter, and then we'll have a quarter turn, which is the season of spring. And since this is talking about harvest of the self, faded, cultivated, the work that you've been putting in is going to be redeemed, is what you're talking about. You're going to have the return. You're going to be able to eat off of the work that you've been putting in, which is fantastic. I'm so excited for you, Libra. You've come so far through so much, and the challenge of what Libras had to face, not being able to differentiate much between yourself and others as to where those intentions and that energy comes from, but being able to stand in the truth of yourself now so that you can have the freedom and the power of the ancient rights that you were born into, being able to run swiftly and freely without the tethering, without the binding, being able to be balanced in the middle, which with other sides that could be stagnant and stuck, but for you, it is divine dance. It is harmonizing. It's just like a string when you tune on a guitar. Too much and it's out of tune. Too little and it's out of tune. You don't want it sharp and you don't want it flat. You want it perfectly tuned. So you can play any note, regular, sharp, or flat that you want to play. And you're like, aha. Yeah, I gotcha. Yo, okay. So, yo, why am I calling you yo? Who called me yo? Hey, I see you, baby. So anyways, yo, when you see the Wheel of Fortune, it always indicates finding the balance in life. It can be a temperance card, but especially for like Libra or coming into some of the more challenging signs, it brings in the essence of knowing when to play and when to work. Keeping that balance and that flow in there, that the wheel keeps turning on its own, that the momentum is there and it doesn't have to be like watched over. It's kind of a self-maintaining system. Does that make sense? Checking in, tuning in, fine-tuning, that sort of thing, but without a lot of added effort. You're talking about extricated. What could flip back over? Okay, you're like, we don't need to see that backside yet. Well, whatever, girlfriend. Then let's go on. Let's go on and find out what is really happening here. Because remember, I said there was something coming in. This is you coming in as the high priest or the high priestess, the alpha and omega, the full completion. Because you're telling me here that when you complete 2 quarters of a turn, you've really completed the full turn. Because you've done the investing part, you've done the work part, and now it's time to begin to play and to inherit. And that means it's not as, it can't play on the mind as much. You're able to have a little bit more wisdom under your belt, a little bit more experience, a little bit more of the mind tuning into of your perception, of being able to divine a lot of what's coming in, more understanding that you've gained in your heart, the balance between your heart and your mind energy, and the way that plasma works and operates. All right. So let's see how the moon kisses you here. Who are we going for? Okay. Let's step into light seers. Y'all. I was going to try and move them. They just fell out of the middle. So we have the Six of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. So moving forward, we're going from this place of being dragged about, tossed about, not being in charge of even your own fate, your own destiny, right? Feeling like it was kind of tarnished, tainted, muddied, altered. You know, some of you feel like you had setbacks, that you lost out on these other things and they won't return to you again. But Big Papa, SCM, he's down here and he's saying, hey, use your imagination. Tune in, look past that, look through it, look beyond it, and see yourself, because this is not truly you. This is you weary from the battle. But see, there's a whole spirit going a whole different direction. He's like, jump out of the boat. Go the other way. Follow your spirit. Follow your spirit. No more thinking, because you've been working long and hard thinking that was the shore you were leading into. That's not the shore that you desired. Look, you want to follow spirit. Even your destiny is going that way. Trust yourself, friend. Trust yourself, because brown is the color that we get when we mix all the paints, all the different colors together of the rainbow. And you had gotten muddied. When your chakra energy gets that way and it gets muddied, it's hard to have the clarity, but even the rain is going that direction. The blessing is going that direction. There is a hallmark on the shore of the star. Okay, and the star, remember here. Okay, so turn around, bright eyes. Turn around, make the turn. Allow the turn. But these are things that, as we know, with the high priest, high priestess having shown up first, that have already been on the horizon of your mind, that you've already been picking up the communication, both from the sky and from the earth, from heaven and earth, with clarity and confirmation. Thus that duality. And this isn't a split or a division. This is coming and going, that you've had a lot of confirmation and resonance, but you were still kind of asking, are you sure? Are you sure? Well, let's see what you want to do with that. Okay, we're wanting to step over here first. I'll come back to her and see what we've got going on. So what we have is the star. It's about communion, community, communion, community. They're talking about you having the gift of spinning straw into gold, friend. Don't despise that, okay? It's something that you're like, it's otherworldly, and you had kept it hidden for a while, and you're telling me you would blend in with the world around you. Well, it's obvious you do not, okay? So let's just go ahead and put that out there. Let's just go ahead and say, so you do? I don't think so. Stars follow you everywhere you go. You got loons, geese, cranes taking off. You got some magical perma-filled pictures here of life, this cosmic flow going on, and you are the fountain. You are the circuit through which they channel, through your heart and through your mind and through your very soul. You have a pure soul, friend. A pure soul. You are divinely connected, and I need you to know that, okay? So why they want to go there first is they're telling us to look at this rain, celebrate things are looking up. Hold up your head. Lift up your arms. Receive. Receive. Receive this divine connection. Receive it with your mind's eye is what they're talking about. Because as we know, your channels be occupied. Your hands, your heart, all that is occupied. But it's more of a lifting of the countenance. Lifting up and looking to the sky to receive the love and appreciation that they have here and are pouring forth for you. Because when you do, you'll see yourself clearly. And it'll all be made known. It'll all be made known, and that starts to bring in the moon and the stars over here. Because even in the midst of the moon, this full moon was a star, and that star is you coming home. You coming home to what? What is she holding there? What has she chosen? She's chosen life. She's chosen to follow her passion, a creative ability. What are you telling me? He or she, you, Libra. There's a bit of Sagittarius going on because there's some bare feet up in here. That could be Pisces, but I really see some strong Sagittarius going on. And again, the four angles being reiterated as to what's going to be your throne, your upholdment, your support system. So maybe for a bit of time, tune in and watch those four zodiac readings is what your four angles are. The ascendant, descendant, the midheaven MC on your chart, okay? And your IC. All right, the four angles. But it's bringing in new life. And not just new life, this is like spring has sprung. So around springtime, you'll be coming into this new divine man, especially the balance with male and female relationships that you have. That could be anything, okay? They're having me specifically say male and female relationships. That's okay, because a relationship is a two-way street. It doesn't always mean someone that you kiss and that you go to, have sex with or whatever else. It's about that, the polarity connection, just like the arteries and veins, right? It creates a circuit and a cycle that causes spirit to begin to awaken, erupt, and flow. Okay, touchdown. Touchdown, and this touchdown is like spaceship, spacecraft, full signal received from the cosmos coming down to you, and the transmissions being returned. And this is causing abundance to begin to overflow at your feet, in your hands, in your world. The power of the pen is with you. Okay. So that brings us to the Queen of Pentacles. Look at that. That's you inheriting. Look. And now the rest of the story. You hold it in your hand. That's what's happened here. See your spirit, choosing your passion, choosing what stirs you up. This green reiterating your heart, your support. This is your covering, friend. This is your provision. This is your protection. They're telling you, reiterating, they're telling us in 3D here, choose your passion. Okay. All right. Well, we got that. Yeah, she's snug as a bug in a rug, all cosmic and divine, because cyan, turquoise, aqua, those resonate in the cosmic vibration. They're like a portal gateway through the chakra energy system to do that divine connecting, this system exchange going on here. All right. Now we're back under the star. Since we brought that up, we have the mighty 17 going on, which again is the 8, is connecting to the favor and the flow, which is what we saw going on in the Light Seers Tarot down here. Okay. So now with the cosmic, we have the reaffirmation of strength and 5 of Wands. They're saying stay in contact and know who you are, because to me, 5 of Wands is not competition. It's not that challenge. It's not that sort of thing. To me, it's the coming together of knowing who you are. Because you take the 5 and you make the star, right? You take the 5 and you make the star. And that's knowing who you are. Bringing in the body balance from your connection to yourself. Remember? Both directions, right? From your fingers to the center of your body, from your toes to the center of your body, from your head to the center of your body. Then emanating from your belly button, your navel, your center, out into the world, out into the world, and out into the world. Okay? So don't get caught in any strive for power struggles, all right? Keep it at a minimum. Keep it there. Know who you are. Know your direction. Know where you're going. And that gives you the strength. The strength to know fully who you are. Independently, you're saying in this world is your own tree of life will help you grow quickly and rapidly. It doesn't mean dash or do away with others. It just means there's some fiery passion for yourself that is going on right now that's going to lead you to this divine success that you are seeking. Now, along with that, we have our herbs coming in of holy basil and feverfew. And this is talking about it's finally time, taking it easy on yourself. And that doesn't mean being permissive, that type of thing, scapegoating, anything like that. It's really just finally being able to draw in that breath, like to be able to lay down that competition, to know that you don't have to fight for who you are anymore. You just stand strong in who you are, confirmed, knowing, self-assured, confident, that type of thing. And it all works out. It all works together. The beauty and the balance, you're like, I'll let life take care of that. I'll let life deal with that energy right over there, because I know what I'm choosing, and I got things to focus on, things that bring me pleasure, joy, that delight my heart, that give me passion and fuel me, and that feed me physically and spiritually. All right. And that's the covering that comes in with the feverfew and the holy basil. Okay. The community and you as an individual. Having space for both, which again is another balance of the wheel. It says 2 divine energies between work and play, between others and self, between light and dark, day and night, okay? In between here and there, here and there. And that leads to your abundance, which is beautiful, because what is Libra if it's not the 2 energies, right? And finding that flow in the center to come into your divine, beautiful self. I'm excited for you, Libra. If you like this, make sure you click that like button down below. Titillate those buttons. Get YouTube all stirred up so they'll share this video with people who might not otherwise see it. Also, you can leave comments or compliments down below from me or anyone else. Let's share the love. Let's celebrate each other and glow up our world. It makes it brighter, better, bolder for each of us and all of us when one of us flourishes and thrives in our sunshine. Just know I love you, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.